Alright, so I didn't want to get up this morning. I didn't because, last night I had nightmares and well, just one, and I didn't get enough sleep. But I got up to go to my interview. I was like, I'm not going to let the devil stop me. And I aced the interview. I mean, I did, so well that God really answered my prayers. And I asked him, put the right words in my mouth to say, why the fuck didn't I pray about this the other day? When I went to the interview, I really wanted to ace. Because I had confidence in myself. Okay? I had confidence in myself. You gotta have a little bit of confidence in yourself, and then you also have to pray. And that's what I didn't do today. So, that's what I did today. But honestly, I don't really want this job because it's definitely of the devil. And it's just everything when something is of a job like this, in the city, in Williamsburg, it's super colonial and it's very evil because I was just working at a place right across the street from there, and it's just very new age. They're not Christians. They're a sort of new age. It's just I could tell by the vibe. It's a coffee shop, but it's I'm a robot. I feel nervous. When I'm getting interviewed, I felt I just know exactly what the right thing to say would be. It's yeah, God helped me know exactly what the right thing to say to say. He's yeah, go ahead. I'll give you the right thing to say, so you can have confidence in yourself, so you know you could have the job. But he knows that I don't want the job. So, okay. So I wanted to say I've just been sitting here thinking about how my life could go well, and thinking about all the things that I want to do, and God, basically talking to God, and it's so silly because none of these things have even happened yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm God, but because I keep thinking of the Bible verses. Let me go to them. Well, the Bible verses I read you the other day, it's undeniable. There's undeniable proof that bombs are going to come. So, all this evidence that's kind of undeniable, because where it says the girls of Zion, they walk with it mincing as they go, changeable outfits, a tinkling of their feet, perfume and fancy hairdos and clothing and all different kinds of apparel, changeable suits of apparel, and then the crisping pins and all these things that they have to look beautiful, to get attention from the men and everything, and that in one day it says there will be where there was well set hair, there will be baldness, but there's more, and there will be a stink, and there will be a girding, where they were wearing a girdle, it said, or something, some kind of waist trainer. It said they will be wearing sackcloth. And I'm also thinking now, because I'm trying to look at the alternative, that just means literally what I have, balding hair, or but my dad is bald, so it's probably stress, and it's probably that too. But it could just mean oh, they're gonna be stressed out, they're gonna be stinking, they're gonna be poor, they're gonna be wearing rags, or it could mean that a bomb would come. But the more I think about it, I'm kind of reassuring myself, maybe God does maybe there is no nuclear bombs. People just keep talking about it. I've even heard about it 10 years ago. My spiritual mother was one day a bomb's gonna come. That's what all the signs in the Bible are pointing to. And that was before the signs in the on the media were even that. There was even that much talk about it in the with Trump and everything. This was really 14, 12 years ago. This was 2014, around 2014. So it's 14 years ago. So long ass time ago. 12. Okay, 12 years ago. But do you understand what 12 years means? 12 years, the 12 tribes of Israel, but the 12 months. But it also means, it also is a representation of every single horoscope. I think there's 12 horoscopes. But also, No, there's not 12 horoscopes. Is there? There might be, because couldn't be, because each horoscope's like longer than a month. No, I think there is 12. Okay, and also on in Chinese astrology, there's 12 different animals. So there's 12 different years. Each year represents an animal. So the years also go in patterns of 12 as well. So right now you may feel similar emotions to what you felt back in 2014. It may be a similar time period. You know, it may be a similar, like, a feeling, but that's when she was saying that bombs will come. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if she was saying that and it was a similar feeling, like, I was a little bit scared then. I was just like, well, if you think bombs are coming, like, shouldn't we move? But now I'm not scared because I have I have God with me. But, I mean, and I'm just thinking of how silly it is that what am I going to miss? I don't have any of the things I want yet. Like, all these dreams that I have, God hasn't given them to me yet. So what's the chances that he's going to give them to me now? Like, the chances are that he's going to keep rolling with what his agenda is, not what my agenda is. Like, oh, he's like, you already cut yourself off from Babylon. You already cut yourself off from Babylonian ways. But I'm telling you, like, my urge is always to still, like, progress in like a career and, like, to still, like, just live here. Like, that's still, like, my agenda. So I'm telling you, it's not even my will or, like, my desire for everybody to die and for, like, a bomb to come. I'm literally just thinking, like, if it was possible, I would be like, don't do it, God. But it's not. If it's not possible, if it's out of my control, then I'm gonna go where God's leading me to go. I'm gonna leave. But it's hard to just, like, leave because there's like 1 million trailers for sale. There's like a couple of the neighbors' trailers are for sale. So if I left, I would want to sell my trailer, and what are the chances I could even get it sold and then actually have, like, a smart plan? Like, I wouldn't want to just, like, leave and run away. Like, I feel like I have upgraded from those days that I would just run away. Like, I'm not scared of anything anymore, but I can be sensible about things. It's not like the devil is fear, right? Oh, and I gotta tell you how stupid I sounded at my interview the other day, or how crazy I sounded, right? Like, I'm so isolated, right? Like, I'm so alone that, like, nobody ever, like, touches me. But I know in Spanish cultures and in Asian cultures, in their countries, it's normal to touch each other. So when I was working with Spanish ladies, they would come up, they would touch me or something. So, because we would be working in close spaces. So it's kind of like a joke. It's kind of funny. It's kind of racist. But when I was at my interview, they were like, we've got a small kitchen. Are you okay with, like, working like that? And I'm like, yeah, I used to work with the Spanish people. Like, they would, like, touch me and stuff, and it's okay. And I'm, like, okay with that. And I'm just like, whoa, what did I just say? What did I just say? Like, like, so that's the worst thing you could possibly say at your interview, because these are young, like, 17-year-olds whose mother runs the whole thing, and I think it's so cool, and I really, really wanted to work there. I didn't know any of that beforehand. I didn't know that this kitchen was nothing but girls, and so that's, like, an extremely safe space for a girl to work in, and I'm like, I didn't even know that this was somewhere like that I really want to work at, so I just came. I was just myself. It wasn't like today where I, like, didn't want to be there, and I'm just like, okay, I know exactly how to answer these questions and tell them exactly what they want to hear, because they just want a robot or a slave. But no, these girls were trying to get to know me to see if I would be a good fit. They were like, they allowed me to say something, and I had nothing to say except for stupid things, and, they're gonna go tell their mom that I want to work there and I want to touch them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the worst thing I could have possibly said. But then I went into my car and I was like, oh my God, I see why my interview was so short. I need to go back in there and explain to them that the last place I worked at had a different idea than, like, the Spanish women. The last place I worked at when I was working with the men, Johnny was like, this is your station and this is my station, and I couldn't even really cook a steak on his station. He would want to, like, cook the steak for me. He would be really, really mean, and, like, he needed, like, all his space. But honestly, I like to have my own space. I really don't like it when it's crowded and people have to touch each other. I don't like that. So why did I say that? Because I was trying to people please. I was trying to say, "Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, in honesty, that's not really great. That's a flaw of the job if you're going to be having to work with people that closely. That's not good. I never really liked working so close to the Spanish people, but I'm saying that it wasn't uncomfortable because you can tell when somebody's touching you in a creepy way, and that's just their culture, and then it wasn't creepy at all. It was comforting, actually, because you felt like they were your friends and stuff, and they were way more friendlier than the Spanish people that live here. And I would never let any of the Spanish people who live here touch me because they would be an aggressive way. They're very aggressive and they're very mean here because they see the way people look at them, but it's not because the people are mad at them or racist. It's just the face that everybody wears is like a face of like anger because everybody hates it here. Everybody is just like angry all the time. So they come here and they assume all Americans are racist, and so in turn they turn into like mean Spanish people who like hate all the Americans, and then they complain about different white people in the trailer park, or like they want to get rid of all the white people in the trailer park and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm not saying that any of these Spanish people are even my friends here. So like, why do I want to live here? It's impossible. If God has made it impossible for me to really feel like I'm thriving or like really feel like I'm living here, then why would I want to stay? It's like maybe he's trying to push me out. Like maybe he's like, yep, I let you mess up because I'm trying to push you. I'm trying to pop you out like you're a little pimple. Like pop out, So, that's how I always feel. Like we're under the surface. We have to burst through, like the surface. Like we're like this swelling pain in society. That's just like we're gonna just pop out. You know what I mean? From under the surface, because they want to keep us down, and we have to just burst. God's trying to just burst us out, like we just want to pop out, So, anyways, like Jonathan did when, Jonathan actually in the book of Samuel. Did you guys ever know that like he popped out before David did, like when Saul failed, and it was up to David. Actually, no, this was before it was up to David. Saul was still in command, but David is his son, and then not David, Jonathan was Saul's son, so, but I don't know where David was at the time. I don't know, but his father was just waiting. Saul acted like he needed something to tell him to start fighting, because they just set up camp and then they had their enemies were surrounding them, but they were just chilling. I guess they were going to wait for their enemies to make the first move. So Jonathan just got tired of all of this sleeping and all of this resting and all of this boredom. He was just young. He was just ready to fight. So you know what he did? He took his armor bearer. It was just the two of them, and they climbed up a mountain to the enemy's camp. And he said God told him before he climbed up there, God told him, if they do not attack you as soon as you get up there, I've given them to you into your hands. So when he got up there, they didn't attack him, but they asked him questions. They were like, oh, look who's climbed out from their little moleholes. And then Jonathan what did he do? He pushed him to the ground and he killed him. And then him and his armor bearer killed all 12 of these Hebrew people. Right? And then they killed all 12. There was no witnesses. So suddenly the Hebrew people are wondering, where did these guys go? Like they just disappeared. Somebody killed them. So now they're freaking out, and they would never expect that Jonathan and his armor bearer would have been so brave to do something that crazy. So they never even thought it was the Israelites that did it. So they started turning on each other. They started to accuse each other, started fighting against each other. And that gave Saul the upper hand to decide this is our time to attack. And that's how they began fighting the Philistines and the Hebrews. That's really how they did it. Anyway, so sometimes I guess it means that you have to start before you ever have a leader to tell you to start. You have to start before you feel like you're ready. You just have to like pop out and you just have to be anxious. Anxious means that you're ready to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have anxiety because we're ready to start. We're ready for something, and it's like hasn't came yet, so it just keeps giving you more anxiety. Anxiety is like when you're about to go out on stage and perform, and you get anxious, you get nervous because you have stage fright. But so there's like two different definitions to anxiety. It means you're nervous, but it also means you're anticipating that you're going to do something. You see what I'm saying? So if you weren't going to do anything and your life was a waste, you wouldn't have anxiety, and you wouldn't like have worry that you're going to fail, because you wouldn't even have a mission at all. So God has given you a mission. He's chosen you. That's why you have anxiety, because you won't drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? You perform better with anxiety than you would perform without anxiety. Some people do, and if you don't have anxiety, maybe you're one of those people that doesn't get anxiety, but you're still chosen by God, because some people don't, even if they perform, they don't have anxiety, but usually they perform worse because they get anxiety as soon as they go out on stage, and then that's when they start to get the stage fright. But I'm also thinking about gymnasts too. Like, I mean, gymnastics is the most, I think those girls get more nervous about what they have to do than any other, like, sport or anything, because of the pressure for them to be, like, perfect. Goodness gracious, terrific. Anyways, but what was I gonna say? I was still talking about how, like, I need to sell my trailer, and how, like, Michelle sold hers. She got everything she wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, she still wants to play victim. Somebody knocked at my door earlier, but it was like, doom, 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 doom. So I don't know who it is, because Michelle doesn't normally knock like that. But I didn't want to see, because it might be her, and she might have just, like, switched her knock up. And I'm like, maybe it was a trailer park manager. I don't know. But I hate when people knock on the door. Because I hate people. So I hate when people knock on the door. It could have been a door-to-door salesman. Sometimes they come by too. But then when I don't check, because if it's Michelle, I don't even want to go to the door. So if I don't check, now I have more anxiety about who came to the door. And I also didn't want to get up this morning, but I'm like, I don't want to fail this mission. Like I don't want to just be sitting around like a bum and like just lose everything I have. Because I was thinking like last night, like, oh, that could be like my mom's agenda to get me back in this cycle. And then I realized why I feel like nobody else understands me, why I feel like nobody else has these problems, because they don't, period. Because people don't have these problems, because everybody else manages their money like they want to spend it. See what I'm saying? I manage my money because I'm trying to get my bills paid, and I don't even care about like having extra money. And think about like how Michelle has $750 every month, and she's probably not paying rent at that trailer that she's found a man to let her live with him, and he's probably just doing it because he's a nice person, and she's probably walking all over him. But it doesn't matter because that's his business. But I'm glad it's not me, and I'm just saying that think about how stingy she is. That even though she's poor, she's still stingy. Like, even like my mom, she was like rich. My parents were like rich, but like they were extremely stingy. So these people need to loosen up. They're way too stingy, right? But also think about how she still has everything like kind of like benefiting her, and then still tries to play a victim, because like no matter what, they feel like you have more than them. But the only thing more that you have is you have God. That's what you have. That's more than what they have. And they will manipulate everybody into believing that you are just more privileged than they are. You see what I'm saying? But honestly, my parents put me in this situation for me to be completely drowning in anxiety, trying to figure out how I'm going to get my bills paid, and doing it as like a entertainment to watch, because they're hoping on me. They're hoping that I'll fail. They're hoping I can't do it. People will really also never ever really, they'll never make an excuse for me or anybody else, because they're like, but so many people have made it like without their parents. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna make like an excuse to really be like, sometimes I don't know who, but somebody has told me before, your life really isn't that bad. And I'm not just saying on the internet. I'm in real life. I think it was Debonair, the one guy over there, lives at Riverland, because he said his mom is a crackhead, right? he was just like, Liz, you know, your life like actually isn't that bad. And you know, all his siblings are like successful. He has like all these girl siblings and they're all like successful. And I'm like, see what I'm saying? If your parent is a crackhead, that doesn't mean they don't love you. Because they might be, you might have this like feeling of like love that on you. And I know God loves me. And let me explain to you why I know God loves me and how I know God loves me. Because I'll get a feeling of warmth all over me. But anyways, I'm saying, because, okay, like, remember what I said at my job interview? I said, I used to work with Spanish people, and, like, we would, like, accidentally, like, work in such close quarters. Like, Spanish people will touch you, and it's not weird, right? So, what if I were to be like, you know, what if the person that owns the place were to talk to me, and then I would say something even more stupid, like, okay, every time it feels wrong, it's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, see how I could dig myself into a hole because everything you say is double-sided? Because I'm saying that it's harder to get, because I'm not, like, the person who was interviewing me today literally said I was personable. But, see, it's harder to get a job that's right than it is to get a job that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, when something feels like it's wrong, it's usually right. But that doesn't have to mean in some sexual, creepy way. That just means that the devil is going to fight you harder for what you really want. He will give you a counterfeit that and show you, oh, but you could have this instead, and try to cover it with sparkles and make it seem even more appealing than what you want, so that you will be like, well, I can easily get this one here. You know what I mean? So, okay, people seem quirky and weird when it's right, when they're the right person for the job or whatever, right? But they might say things that are crazy, but if you had good discernment like me, you would hire them anyway. You know, but of course people don't have good discernment like me, and of course they're just worldly, and of course they're just thinking nasty. So anyways, like, and it's especially with Leos, like, we always say things that are crazy and out of pocket, and then people take it completely the wrong way. So, you know, I think that we're the biggest red flag to, like, not hire or, like, to stay away from, and that's why I'm more isolated, and that's probably why I even brought up, like, it comforts me when people touch me. Like, when I was at Law Game, the store I used to work with, like, my old coworker, you know, I sat down and she just, like, you know, she just patted me, and I was just like, this is just nice, you know? I was like, this is so nice. Like, the way my old managers, they would just come up to you, they'd be like, hello, honey. Like, they're not afraid to touch you, and sometimes they would, like, if they were mad, they'll poke you or karate chop you, but it's like, you know that they're good and they mean no harm. I mean, I didn't like to be poked or karate chopped, but it was, like, kind of funny, though. It was funny, you know? Like, one time I quit and I came in the first time when I came back in and apologized to them, this little Asian lady, she just was like an auntie or something. She was just like, I don't know, like, first she, like, poked me, honey. They always call you honey, like, honey. And then she, like, give you, it's okay, honey, you could come back to the job, you know? Like, they'll be like, come hug. Like, they always want to, like, be, like, nice and, like, so I don't want any American women touching me. Like, I don't want to be touched by all these 17-year-old girls. No, that would be weird, but I'm just saying, like, maybe because I'm a Leo and because I'm completely isolated and I don't get that normal people get, like, that affection, like, even just a normal affection, not like sexual affection, but it could be like that there's some truth to that, but that was the wrong thing to say at a job interview. But I'm being myself, I was trying to be myself, but I had no prior planning about what I was going to say, so I failed. I think I failed. I think that's probably the worst thing you could say. So anyways, you know, I don't know what God wants me to do, but I know he has a plan, but I'm just saying that sometimes I think, oh, but I could work at this coffee shop, and I could do that until a certain time, and, like, you know, everything I do is going to work out, but, like, everything will be okay. But then, like, I don't know the plans that the devil has to attack me, you know. I'm thinking everything will be okay, but then God might know that the devil has some plan to attack me and that he's not going to let me fall into that trap, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you fail at things, it's not because, you know, God was punishing you, it's because he's protecting you. So what was I going to say? So oh yeah, okay, and also like the devil does not know your heart. The devil doesn't understand your heart. So the devil can watch what you do and what you say and then try to attack you. But those attacks never work for me. They always fail because like what if the devil brings you what he thinks you want and you don't want it? You know what I'm saying? Like what if like the devil will bring you like a gay girl and you're like I don't want that. Or what if the devil will bring you like on a chance to fit in with the wrong crowd? I don't want that. You know, the devil will try to bring you things that he thinks you want because of what you say or because of your actions. And the devil completely misconstrues everything you say. So he's constantly like, what the fuck? What can I give them that's going to make them join me? And there's nothing. There's literally nothing. They're so frustrated because they're trying to figure out how to tempt you, and nothing they do works. And even when it did work, your heart wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you fell for the temptations, they saw that you did the wrong thing, and that's all they can use to convict you with is like, you did the wrong thing. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I was saying before in my video. Like, there's nothing that God's not going to forgive you for. And he knows your heart. God knows your heart. God's the one who knows your heart. He's the one that knows that you made a decision that was like using your brain, not your heart. You were using your brain because you live in this world to think what's the smartest decision. But your heart was never wanting to fit in with this world. It was never wanting those things that the devil was trying to give you. You never wanted even the people that he was trying to give you. Like, if there was a person who broke your heart, it could have been also that that at one point God was trying to give you that person, and that person fucked up, and that person turned around and blasphemed God. So I'm saying that could hurt more than anything else, and that could be like that your heart was in the right place for loving the person. Or if it was like your mother, of course I think you naturally like love your parents or something, and then don't understand it, and you think that like they couldn't be that evil, but they are, you know. Or you keep looking past it, like you think your discernment is better than it is, like, because like I'm saying, like I say a lot of weird stuff, I've done a lot of bad stuff, but I'm expecting somebody to see past it. So I'm always trying to see past other people's weird. I'm like, okay, they just did something that's really weird, but I'm gonna look past it. Like, I literally do that. I'm not being a hypocrite that says like that I would hire myself, and I wouldn't. I would hire myself. Yeah, I would hire myself for sure. Like, okay, that I think that's the main problem with people is they don't like themselves, you know, and then they think if you're comfortable with yourself, you know, that's a bad thing. But I think you gotta be honest with yourself. You probably are comfortable with yourself, you just haven't realized it yet. Like, you probably, when you remember how you treated other people, you've actually been very forgiving, actually. You know, think about your life and how much you've put up with weird behavior and strange behavior. So just because yours is different, and just because yours is different from theirs doesn't mean that they're not gonna forgive you. But if a person is like the same exact horoscope as you, then I think that you butt heads more because they see things you do that are weird more as like a red flag, because they only if they're of the devil do you bump heads. If they're not of the devil, you probably will actually definitely get along. So forget that I said that, because I just was thinking about how I bumped heads with Michelle, bumped heads with Tyshawn, but then I'm like, no, I think those are both RH negative people, and that they do see good in me. They don't see bad in me. They just try to make me feel bad and stuff. And I can't even start to fall for it. I think when it's your own horoscope, though, you're not gonna fall for the bullshit. But that I've realized that other horoscopes have been really nice to me, but that if a person is a Leo, they're not gonna be nice. But that's one thing, is like everybody is actually different. I'm not being like another religion because I'm talking about horoscopes, but other people do have a different way of looking at the world. So you might feel like bad about yourself. You might feel like, you know, you don't deserve to be treated nicely, but other people don't really see your flaws like you see them, because they look at the world in a different way, so they see things about you that they like about you that they don't like about themselves, like ways that you are that they wish they were, and like they don't really know how to be any other way but like nice or something, so they don't really know how to be mean to you even if they wanted to, but like so you know, you gotta watch out for that too. Like maybe they don't like you, maybe they just are pretending to and they don't know how to be any other way, and then they're just gonna talk about you like behind your back. But you have to be thankful that they're nice to your face, because even God is thankful that the churches are nice to his face, because that's why he lets them continue on. He's like, continue glorifying me. Yup, I know I'm God. He's just like, you're gonna get what's coming to you, because I know I haven't really felt like your heart is with me, but as long as you're putting up that front, like God is like God is a terrifying God. He is like King Von. You know how they were scared to say no to King Von? Like, you better act like you love him, even if you're lying, is what he's saying. Like even if you go to church, you fake it. I still take it. He'll still take it. That's why witchcraft is prevalent. That's why people go backwards, because God allows it. If he didn't want them to, he would destroy them. But because I like going to church, he makes it available. He makes it available for those who actually like to go, and he doesn't care that some people he doesn't know them. He doesn't know them. They could be in church, but their heart is far from him. You know, there could be somebody who everybody loves and everybody's praying for, but God still knows they haven't came to him yet. They absorb all the love that everybody gives them, but they still don't even know God. Like people could be praying for them. They could be like saying like, this is the one, but they want her or him to be the one, but they're not. And because they don't care about how much prayers they get, they're never gonna actually look up to the Lord. They're not gonna look up and talk to him and have a real relationship with him. So, you know, even if you're the one that nobody wants to be the one, you're the one that like they hate it, because you know they just hate it. They just like, you know, because they don't know you. They know somebody else that they know better. So people are scared of what they don't know. That's all there is to it. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just they're scared because they don't know you yet. So they're scared because it's like unfamiliar to them. They wanted this person that they knew to be the chosen one, and they weren't, because they haven't done enough. They kind of failed. Like they haven't really done enough. They haven't really taken a step forward. They've just accepted the love, but they haven't really. And see, that's another attack of the devil, is like to want to hate these people because you're like jealous because like they've gotten all this love and you haven't. But when God saw that I didn't team up with the devil to try to, like, I don't even know how to do that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like the devil will try to throw things in your face and think that like, oh, you're gonna be not okay with that, you know? He's got like a list of things that he's got to show you, you know, even in the spirit, like to piss you off and to see like what you're gonna do. But like you may be pissed off, but you're not gonna do anything about it. So then as soon as you calm down, God comes to you, he's like, I love you, because you didn't react the way the devil wanted you to. So anyways, with that being said, I need to continue with my day. And maybe I said all the wrong things today. I don't know, because I'm tired and I'm just like, maybe I'm not in the best headspace. But that's all. Love you. God bless you.